This the book of Second Exodus, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Kah Elohim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushua, Bahasham Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, rule well, been a great example to its younger brothers in the truth, and peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, Lord, willingness and edifying. Listen, and this another edition of Measure Thou the Time Diligently. And I got the copyright disclaimer act because I got a few copyrights for playing the brother video, which I know it's the AI police and shit like that. It ain't the brother copywriting it, which he got a copyright disclaimer, but I guess I got to do the copyright disclaimer because I'm screen recording this video off his page. Hopefully, Lick 3. And this something different. I'm gonna use his video to do the measured out of time diligently. So Lord willing, this edifying, we get into it. And that's what going into the time of war. And I got that precept. I started with it and read it. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 45. It reads, Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh, who the word English called God or the Most High, which he is the Most High. But those are titles, God and the Most High, and those are titles. His true name is Yahweh, that he have taken against Babylon, and Babylon is America. Today, Babylon is America. The Lord is speaking about this place here. It say, in his purpose that he have purposed against the land of the Chaldeans, America. It say, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who is the least of the flock? The small headers, the Amalekites, the so-called Jewish people. Those are that's the least of the flock, and they are finna draw Babylon into war. It says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Yeah, and the Lord getting ready to make these Edomites' habitation desolate, and ultimately America will be turned into a desert, you know, and all Edom is gonna fall from Russia to America, Israel, France, Britain. All you Edomites are finna go down, man.
US officials have been informed that Israel is now fully prepared to launch a military operation against Iran. According to multiple sources cited by CBS News,
And these things already happened. They already launched. They did it. They attacked. They attacked Israel. Israel attacked Iran. Iran attacked Israel last back, and they going back and forth right now, man.
the development has heightened tensions in the region, with the US now anticipating potential retaliation from Iran on American sites in neighboring Iraq. Israeli Defense Forces have reportedly increased the deployment of Iron Dome surface-to-air missile batteries near strategic locations across Israel, including a battery that has been moved near Silvad in the West Bank. The movement indicates a strengthening of Israeli air defense capabilities at key sites. On the other hand, Iran
And Iran still shoot the missiles. They got missiles that still getting through. Yeah, because Iran has successfully attacked Israel. and there was casualties, you know. So that Iron Dome shit ain't gonna protect you.
Has reportedly intensified GPS jamming operations over Iraqi airspace, especially near the Iran-Iraq border, affecting both military and civilian aircraft navigation signals. Meanwhile, according to reports, U.S. CENTCOM Chief Army General Michael Eric Kurilla has postponed his scheduled Senate testimony due to heightened tensions in West Asia. The testimony was earlier set for today before the Senate Armed Services Committee, which will be now rescheduled. Earlier, U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed that American personnel are being moved from West Asia due to rising tensions with Iran, describing the region as potentially dangerous.
Well, they are being moved out because it could be a dangerous place, and we'll see what happens. But they are being, we've given notice to move out, and we'll see what happens.
A U.S. official said Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth authorized the voluntary departure of military dependents from locations across West Asia. Washington is reducing staff levels at its embassy in Iraq as well, while similar measures are being taken in Bahrain and Kuwait, with voluntary departure of non-essential U.S. personnel and their families. The United States has multiple bases in West Asia, with the largest located in Qatar. Now, the decision to move U.S. personnel comes after Iran threatened that all U.S. bases in the region are within its reach and would be targeted in the event of a conflict.
Yeah, so Iran woofing at America like shit. We gonna shoot y'all. Yeah, we gonna shoot at y'all military base as well if we strip. So Trump evacuating. But I'm gonna get this Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. It reads, "Behold, in those days, in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all the nations." This is the time we living in. Lord finna bring again the captivity of Judah, finna bring us out of captivity. You know, the nation of Israel. It say, I will also. That's why we warning our people to repent, turn back to the Lord, because our salvation is nearer than when we believe. The Lord getting ready to put an end to the rule of the wicked. The Lord finna get ready to put a stop to the so-called white man, Esau Edom. This nigga is finna lose. This world that you know is finna be done away with. It's full of vanity and folly, man. You know. I'm gonna keep going. Verse 2 it say, and I also will gather all the nations, and I will bring them down to the valley of Yahweh. And that's what's getting ready to happen. The Lord finna gather these nations to the Middle East, the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's what it say. It say, and I will plead with them there for my people, and Lord ain't gonna be pleased. I'm begging y'all to just let them go, give them a fair shake. No, the Lord gonna put whole military forces to death. That's how he gonna plead with them. You know, it's saying I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. It's say whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Yeah, and the Israelites are scattered amongst all nations. And that happened hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So guess what? You got Israelites looking like every nation under the sun. You can't look at nobody and be like, "Oh, you a Israel, you a Edomite, you a Hamite, you a Moabite, you don't know." I mean, through the spirit, we judge spirits, but at the end of the day, we won't know. By looking at the characteristics of a person. Oh, you look like a Moabite, so you're a Moabite. You look like an Edomite, so you're an Edomite. Nah, that ain't how we judge. You know, if a person come up looking like a heathen and calling on the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and believing in the words that we speaking into them, hey, we're gonna accept them in. Why? Because we're gonna accept them. Of course, we're gonna, try them, see how long they. We ain't gonna just bring them anybody in the camp. But we ain't gonna tell them, nah, you can't come to the camp, nah, you can't learn. We're gonna tell them, keep watching video, keep studying. And if we feel like you sincere, hey, we care if you look like Jackie Chan, Jet Li, which those are Israelites, we believe. I believe, you know. So that won't the person's appearance won't matter. Physical appearance won't matter because we scattered amongst our people, like the scriptures say, and parted my land. And these nations had the Lord land parted. You got Israel, Gaza, Iraq, and all these old other different crazy ass places. And they got the Lord land divided, fighting over the land, you know. And they aren't even supposed to be there. That ain't their land. That's our land. So-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's the Lord land that He gave to the children of Israel, the Promised Land. And the Lord is gonna destroy that land, and it's gonna be built back up. But America gonna be totally destroyed in the time we coming into in World War III. They say, and they have cast lots for my people, and they have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yeah, the main the worst captivity known to man is the transatlantic slave trade. You know, and that happened to the children of Israel. If you put in slavery, that's what's gonna pop up. You know, and it's accounts where they speak about how they sold us for wine and different things. They sold boys for harlots. You know, they was sleeping with the little boys and the little girls, but the little boys. That one movie Without Sanctuary, I think that's the name of it. You know, you devils gotta pay, man. And this is why how these things happening for the controversy of Zion. And these things, all hell getting ready to break loose because the Lord getting ready to come back and defend His people, man. The Lord bringing these things upon the earth. The Lord bringing calamities. Of course, Esau got his hands in. He controlled both sides. He been funding both sides and controlling both sides of the wars since he came into power. Since Napoleon, the Rothschilds, these elite international bankers. But guess what? The Lord is controlling them. They doing the bidding of the Lord. All to fulfill prophecy. And the Lord raising them up with pride. The Lord raising these Edomites up with pride to ultimately to destroy them, just as He did Pharaoh. And when you read uh what it is, Romans chapter 9. But let me keep going. Verse 5, it say, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried unto your temples my goodly and pleasant things. The chi- the children also, the children, Salakia, it say, because ye have, so like verse 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, which are you Edomites, that ye might remove them far from their borders. Behold, I will rise them, I will raise them out of the places whither I have sold them, and I will return upon your Salakia. Yeah, yeah, how about some mess up right here? Salakia. It say, behold, and I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off. For behold, for the Lord Yahweh have spoken it. And ultimately, we gonna every nation going into slavery. We gonna sell your motherfucking ass from Israelite to Israelite, man. You know, you all you nations get ready to go into captivity, man, and you're gonna suffer slavery worse than the transatlantic slave trade. You know, the Lord is finna fuck you nations up, man. You know, for what y'all did to Israel. You know, 2/3 of our people they finna get cut off in this time, Jacob, in the time of Jacob's trouble, and Lord willing, we are able to escape these things. That's why we do the work. That's why we fighting. We fighting to escape what's getting ready to come. You know, so like that was it. Verse 9 to say, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hook into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And that was the point of the precept that I had, but I wanted to read it off. So the weak is saying I'm strong because Iran wouldn't dare threaten America like that, 20 years ago. You know, China, you know, a lot of these nations who like, man, you know what? Fuck America. You know, they talking shit now. You know, letting it be known. Look, shit, America ain't exempt. We don't give a fuck. You got these embassies, these bases, and all this shit. Hey, if Israel strike us, we gonna strike y'all. And like if Israel strike us, we gonna strike American bases. Shit, y'all backing them, y'all aiding them, y'all funding them. We gonna shoot. We gonna strike back at y'all. And I was watching something earlier how China, dropping into Iran with cargo ships turning off they um. Which this video I'm doing is from 2 days ago or so. So it's much more stuff happened from since then. As far as this war, because they striking back and forth. This is it's an ongoing strike. You know. So what was it? It's an ongoing back and forth. But China was aiding China, Iraq, all these different nations going backing Russia. They all backing Iran, you know, which is gonna lead me to the next precept I'm finna grab before I play on. It say beat your plowshares into sword and your pruning hooks into spears. Yeah, all that farming agricultural equipment. Hey, prepare, basically, hey, get your military right, man. Invest in your military. That's why in this video they talking about uh 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 trying to make Iran stop their nuclear enrichment, uranium enrichment. Iran like, man, they ain't nothing to talk about on that. You know, we ain't stopping shit. Ain't nothing to talk about. We gonna keep going. You know, because that's what Israel tried to do. They killed one of the killed somebody, and tried to bomb that Iranian enrichment facility. Did they do it? I don't quite know, but they did bomb over there, and I think they killed one of the top men who in charge. But hey, man, ain't when you dealing with a whole country full of all them, they'll kill one motherfucker and then somebody gonna replace him. Who next in line, who know everything. They already know this is war. So it's gonna be casualties. And when our top scientists get killed, guess what? We got somebody who training right up under them, know exactly what's going on, know all the different things. They know what's going on. So we got somebody ready to replace them at all times. And that's for everybody in those different countries. And that's the Lord put that spirit on. You know. It say, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. because that cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about thither. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. See, the harvest is ripe right now, but it's a the Lord has everything to a specific time frame when these things are gonna happen. Literally everything. It's a certain time for everything to happen, and everything that's supposed to happen is gonna happen in this perfect time. Not when we want it to happen, but when the Lord wanted it to happen. It say, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. The day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decisions. So we get ready to see uh the prophecies come to pass, the vision that the Lord shewed to the prophets. The Lord multiplied visions and similitude by the prophets. All the prophets, they were saying the same thing. They were saying the same thing and just they were wording it different. You know, they were putting it in the perspective of the captivity that they was in. They were speaking about things that were finna befall them, but it was also that's how you know it's not of men, because they were speaking of things they were prophesying of the things that they were finna go through in that time in some instances, but they was also hitting that future end time prophecy, the times that we living in. Everything written aforetime was written for our learning, man. you know and that's why when a nigga say, oh, that's the white man book, nigga, shut up. This book ain't a man. When you speaking about the scriptures, this is not a man. When the Lord enlighten you to, he give you that eyesight to see. The Rakakodash come upon you and you understand what the scriptures is saying. You know, it's no way that a mortal man came up with what the scripture's speaking about. When you put the puzzle together. But let's get this. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 1. It reads, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he shall say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. It say, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, and make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for a appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And that's what we see in the vision speaking. You know, things seem like they tarrying, stuff will happen and it'll go back down. Then you'll have a month or two or three, even a year, nothing happening. You know, year pass, something happen, get to jumping, popping. Prophecy happening, which is always stuff happening, but it'll die down, so to speak. But when the Lord explained to us perfectly, so you shouldn't even be confined. Like, man, is this happening and stop? Well, the Lord said it's gonna be like a woman in birth pains. So birth pain, the baby don't just pop out. You got a dilating period, dilating, however you say that shit. So the woman dilate all the way to a certain amount of inches, then the contractions start happening. And then once all that, the contractions will be every hour, every 2 hours at first, while she dilate. Then when that baby getting ready to come, it'll be all the way from she having contractions every 5 minutes. every 10 minutes. That's how you know the baby finna come, you know? So that's why things are pick up and die down, pick up and die down, pick up and die down. But we still at the end. The baby is coming. The baby is dilating, you know? So eventually these things are gonna happen. Eventually it's gonna pick up and before you can put your, you know, you're gonna prophecy at, in which we close to that time now from what it seems. Hey man, this place ain't got another 20, 30 years, man. Nah, World War III gonna be jumping soon. World War III is already here, ultimately. You know, like if it was a World War IV and this, you know, this wasn't the end all be all, what we living to be the beginnings of World War III. They'll be speaking about the Ukraine war in the textbooks at the school. They'll be speaking about what's going on in Israel, Iran, you know, then North Korea, South Korea, and China and uh, Taiwan and all this old crazy shit. Those be the things be getting spoke about, man. You know, the trade wars and all this old other shit, all that. You know,
God willing, it won't come to that, and the talks will yield results. But if they don't, and conflict is imposed on us, the enemy's losses will undoubtedly be greater than ours. In that case, America will have to leave the region, because all its bases are within our reach. We have access
if that ain't the weak saying I'm strong, it say the enemy's loss is gonna be greater than ours. Iran woofing. It's like shit. Alright, play if you want to. We gonna bust y'all ass. You know.
to them, and without hesitation, we will target all of them in the host countries.
Without hesitation, we gonna shoot y'all ass. Without hesitation, we gonna target all of them, all your military bases, all your nuclear facilities, not nuclear facilities, but all your embassies and military bases in the host cities. He talking to America. Iran, Israel bombing they ass, but shit, they woofing at America. You know, ain't nothing to talk about no more, man. These nations ready to fight, man, and that's the Lord putting the spirit on them to get ready to fight. We are in the time of World War III.
However, US President Donald Trump has asserted that the United States will not permit Iran to develop nuclear weapons, emphasizing the country's safety concerns in the region.
They can't have a nuclear weapon. Very simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon. We're not going to allow that.
Meanwhile, US officials have said Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff is planning to meet with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi for a sixth round of talks on the country's nuclear program. Oman has confirmed that it will host a sixth round of nuclear talks on Sunday. And to discuss more, we are now being joined by Dr. Meir Javed Nafar from Tel Aviv. He's a lecturer of Iranian politics at Relchman University in Israel and co-author of The Nuclear Sphinx of Tehran. Welcome to WION, sir. First up, your assessment of the situation that we are seeing at this point of time in West Asia, with Iran threatening to target US military bases in Iraq, and US President Donald Trump clearly saying that he's not optimistic of reaching a nuclear deal.
Yes, we are at a deadlock. The Islamic Republic of Iran has insisted that it will not allow the dismemberment of its enrichment program as requested by President Trump, and that this is a red line for the leadership of the Islamic Republic.
And they don't give a fuck. You know, they like shit, nigga, fuck you. We gonna do what we gonna do. Hey, but this was gonna drag Russia into it. You know, the least of the flock getting ready to draw all the Edomites to battle one against another. This the book of Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 1. It say, and the word of the Lord came unto me saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them, and say, Thus saith Yahweh power, behold, I am against thee, O God, which is speaking about Russia, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee, and I will put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine armies, horses and horsemen, all clothed in all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets, Gomer and all his bands, and the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, which is speaking about Turkey, you know, and Persia, who is Persia? The Iranians, man. Ethiopia, the Hamites, Libya, Hamites, with them, all of them, with shields and helmets. Gomer and all of his bands, and Togarmah of the north quarters, and all of his bands, and many people with thee. And I don't know if I'm pretty sure brothers know, but uh, Turkey and Israel ain't never been cool. Even though Turkey is a part of the NATO, I think Turkey a part of NATO, but not the EU. They are part of NATO though. They are part of the military. They are part of the the military part of the beast, but not the EU. You know. So the 80 this alliance, this beast system alliance, NATO and the EU, all that shit finna break up. You know. And when the Lord and the vision of Daniel, when they was seeing, he was seeing the dream of the feet part of the iron mixed with miry clay. The Roman Empire revised the feet of iron mixed with miry clay. Some weak and some was strong. It was talking about the EU, man. You know, and iron mixed with miry clay meaning it ain't gonna stick together. It ain't no firm, you know. So that shit gonna break up. Toes gonna be falling off, you know. And they ain't gonna be, you know, all these nations ultimately gonna turn against America. Put it like that, man. You know, and that's Revelation 17, which we ain't gonna go to all that. It say, verse 7, it say, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And that's exactly what the fuck Russia gonna do, gonna be a guard unto these nations. You know, but Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to end it giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders. A great millstone, rule well, been a great example to his young brothers in the truth, and peace and blessing to the whole flick. Shalom. Kwam Yashala and the Baba Shalom.